Hey guys, how you going? My name's Campbell and this is Spiral Up channel, where we talk about practical spirituality and things that we can do every day to improve our experience and our reality. And I wanted to touch on the craziness of the world. And it is like we're living in bizarro land at the moment. And what's becoming clear to me just from looking at all the different things that are going on, basically what this is a war for our thoughts and for what we believe is real, or what we consider real. Because this is what's being challenged, is who do we think, who do we want to be and what do we want to stand for? Because we have all these messages coming in that are clearly against humans, all this divisionary stuff that's coming in. And what we can see is that the entities, the sides that are pushing this agenda of division, and that some people are different than others, and some people, because of the way they look, need to compensate others, or it gives others the right to attack some people. All these concepts are being thrown out there, and they're not being thrown out there as something to think about. They're being done in real time in front of us. They are being enacted. And so this is what's happening. We're hitting a point, and this is 2020, and you've heard it said, no doubt, this is a spiritual battle. This is a lot more than what we're just seeing play out in front of us, because what we're seeing play out in front of us is just a representation of the energy. That's how our five senses interpret that information in this reality, in this five sense reality. We interpret that energy as all these physical things and events that are happening. And so this is what it is. It's the universe asking us, what do we want to be? What kind of world do we want to create? Because clearly we're being shown that there are some out there that want a reality where a few rule and the many are subjects. And they're doing this by, what they do is they throw out these concepts like the division and the whole thing that's going on in the USA with relation to people's ethnicity. And so they push this agenda, but clearly the people pushing it don't believe in that agenda, because when you look at their actions, they are hurting the people that they proclaim to be out there helping. And we see this so often. This always happens. They start people off, they get into their emotions and their hearts, and they get them emotionally attached to a cause. And of course most humans are good. They're naturally good in their heart, and they want to help people and do the right thing. But what happens is, as they get into this and they get involved, basically what they're doing gets changed. The steering gets changed from above, because these are all these movements are created. These are not organic from the streets movements. These are created and funded by people up in the high echelons. And so they are the puppet masters. And what they do, like I said, they get you in, get people attached to things that seem ethically good, and then they start to turn the narrative. And we're watching this in real time, so that you end up with people who would start off trying to do the right thing and were good and seemed normal and sane, and within a few months, there's people doing some weird stuff out there. Now, a lot of these people are obviously paid to do this, but a lot of people are getting caught up, and this is the message that they're targeting, especially at young people, with their social media. And we know what's happening with social media. Only one side of the message is allowed to get out. So that is a worry. So this is why it really is. This is a fight for your consciousness, for your ethics, for your heart, for your future, and for what you want to create. Are we going to let people continue to control us and continue to steer the narrative in their direction, because really it's time to wake up. It's 2020 vision. We're seeing this. The veil is lifting. You know, it's the apocalypse, right? The veil is lifting. Age of Aquarius, you know, the culmination of 2012. It's all here. And we can't really deny that anymore. It's all happening. It's all happening. And, you know, there's one thing that I'm seeing is going on, which is, you know, definitely a part of this whole, you know, attack on our opinions and how we see the world, is semantics. I'm seeing a lot of semantics around, and basically what that is where people just pick out a tiny piece from the information. So, you know, there'll be, you know, a video that might go for 10 or 15 minutes, and people will watch, you know, 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and they'll get, you know, they'll pick out something that they can attack, and that's what they'll go for. So, and this is, I think, you know, the way that this is a response to the way that we've been brought up and the way that we've been programmed, is people have such strong opinions, and it's linked to ego, and it's linked to, you know, are we, you know, am I right, you know, and people want to be right. They do. And this is a problem, because we need to be wrong. You know, we can't learn unless we're wrong. We need to make mistakes, you know, have those mistakes before we can, you know, get the take done properly. You know, this is what life is. It's learning. And but many people, you know, it's been this whole sort of culture of, you know, you can have whatever you want right now, you know, the throwaway culture, this whole kind of thing. I don't want to say Generation X, because it's not just the young generation. You know, there's a lot of really good young people that are, and they get a hard time. There's a lot of boomers and Gen Xers that are a real problem. So this isn't it's a consciousness thing. But this whole, you know, picking out little points and going for them and ignoring the whole narrative and the whole message is part of it. And people will do this. So this is what we've got to do. We've got to pick up on, you know, what really are people doing? Because what it is they're manipulating the message, that they're manipulating the information that we're getting. And this has been shown. I saw a video, and it was showing the Trump's convention. What side's he on? But the Red Convention, and it was just amazing. People were speaking, and the news would just cut them off, and then they would just come on with their people and basically tell you what you should think about the speech, but not let you listen to it. And this is another thing. And whenever we see this kind of behavior, we've got to understand that this is people trying to control us and trying to control how we perceive the world. And this is how they gain control. And this is why television and media is such a problem. Again, media is a god, you know, Greek god, they say. Ancient Greece didn't actually ever exist, but ancient Greek goddess, media was the goddess of illusion. And of course, you know, television is a medium of channels, programs. And this is what it does. It gets everyone to believe a certain narrative. So they just twist the information, show it to you in whichever, you know, format they want you to ingest it, to whichever, you know, belief they want you to have. And they do that across the earth. And so they get so many people believing one version that creates energy, that creates power, that creates intent. That's how all these things like wars can actually go ahead, because no humans actually want to be in wars. No humans actually want to start wars. I mean, have you ever met anyone who was pro-war and thought wars were an awesome thing? You know, humans don't do that. But humans fight wars, and it's because of, you know, that they twist the message and they turn it and they get us linked in with our emotions and get us believing we're doing the right thing. And then as it goes forward, obviously the narrative gets changed, and when we look back, we can see that it was total manipulation, and we ended up doing something bad when we started out trying to do something good. You know, the intention at the start was good, but it got twisted. And this happens time and again in the movie industry, the media, television, the movies, you know, politics, everything across, you know, education, sciences, everything. The stories get twisted and changed so that we only get one narrative. And so this is what the Great Awakening is. We need to understand there are options out there, and it's up to us to educate ourselves, because we cannot rely on asking an authority figure, because that's the problem. That's what we've been programmed to do. Been programmed to, ask the teacher, is it right or wrong? Ask the policeman, ask the judge, whatever. We shouldn't do that. We should be standing in our power and asking ourselves, asking through our heart. So this is a war on consciousness and on, I don't want to say belief systems, because, you don't want to be tied, concreted into, something that you believe. Opinions are good, thoughts. It's like when you get information, instead of going, yes, that's right or that's wrong, you can just say, that's interesting, and put it in there until you get more information. You don't have to make a concrete decision. And that's another problem. People think everything has to be black or white, but it doesn't. You can spend your time building up a proper perspective rather than jumping in, and just because it's all been, the same message has been hurled at us, we don't have to believe that. We can stop and go, oh, that's interesting, and then go and get different points of view. And that way we can make proper decisions based on a proper viewpoint, a proper perspective that's ours, that we've created, that hasn't been given to us. And this is who we need to be. We need to be men and women standing in our power under law, not under this false legal system that they have put us under. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. This is all about how we see the world and what we want to create, and how strong we are in standing in our power, because everyone out there is trying to change it for you. So it's 2020, the Great Awakening, time for us to take back our power. Have an amazing day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.